Hello and welcome to another league racing. So this time in Hungary, round 10. A few things to mention before we start. First of all, this will be a short qualifying because we only have 13 drivers, unfortunately. But nonetheless, let's get it started. So just looking back at round 9, so results till round 9 standings. So I'm currently in 7th position. So I have quite a big gap towards 6th position. So I think realistically, in these coming 3 races, I should be able to at least maintain 7th position. I think that is the highest I can aim for in this championship. So going through my fastest lap in the short qualifying, as I mentioned. So here you want to go as wide as possible and coming into this front straight so that you can maximize your straight line speed. So here your DRS is open, going through the, so now you come to the first straight and yeah, you brake on the 50-meter board somewhere near there. Make sure you don't get to the curbs, otherwise it would unsettle your car. So here going down the straight, a little bit of a straight, here you're going to third gear. You go into this corner, you have to be patient with the acceleration a little bit. So here is a non-corner, so just go straight. Rather, you don't need to brake. And here is the hardest corner, I would say. You need to flick your car left. You can see the car was a little bit unbalanced here. Going through here as well, you need to be careful. And here, then you go into third gear. Make sure you have enough rotation. And here, then straight your car as fast as possible. Here in fourth gear, you can attack both of these corners. Here you see my car is almost going out very squirrely. And here as well, a right-hander, it's very easy to invalidate your lap time, so you have to be careful here. And now you go into third gear, going into this corner and short shifting to fourth, so you minimize wheel spin. Here you go into third gear, short shift to fourth again to minimize wheel spin. And then the final corner, go into fourth gear and short shift to fifth, similarly, so that you minimize wheel spin and you finish the lap in itself. So my lap was a 1:14.8. So as it was short qualifying, I tried to go out a few times, but all of those other times when I went out again, I did not do a time. I invalidated it. So as I mentioned, this track is really easy to invalidate. So at the end, I qualified position 8. So shortly looking at my race strategy, so I will go from softs to hards. That would be, I think, the best strategy, and with the extra of 1.5 laps of fuel. So now going into the race in itself, so 5 lights and away we go. So yeah, I did not have the best of starts, to be honest. You can see that the Alpha Tauri in front and also another Alpha Tauri side by side with me, sorry, Williams I should say. And here I basically joined the middle line, so you can see the red lines all over the place there, but I managed to maintain by going in the middle here. So I'm still in 8th position. I did not gain, I did not lose. So that is still good, to be honest. You can see there the Alpha Tauri going wide, but unable to capitalize on it. Yeah, basically here is just a train at the moment. I'm just trying to keep my distance so that I'm not too close and have a kind of a punt that loses my front wing, which was what I was doing quite frequently. You can see a little bit of a moment there. Yeah, so just struggling with the first lap, coldness of the tires as well. So that is basically it. Just trying to keep my nose clean and do a good job. So skipping a little to lap number 5, or rather end of lap number 5, going to lap number 6. So I managed to catch up to the Alpha Tauri in front of me. So here I deploy my ERS, my DRS, everything is open, and it was at the end an easy pass. Then I quickly switch off my overtake so that I don't lose more battery power. And basically now I'm in 7th position because of this. So lap number 7 here, you can see there will be a moment there where this Alpha Tauri, I think he spun, and so I inherit another place and go to 6th position. So now 1 lap later, I decided to come into the pits. Yeah, so this is basically just following my strategy that I decided in the beginning of the race. So it was nothing out of the ordinary, and yeah, it was quite a nice stop as well. It was a 2.6 time stopped, so it was okay at this point. But I was actually quite angry when I came out of the pits because I effectively lost, I think, about 1 to 2 positions. This is simply because I did not do a good job in my in lap, because my tires was basically just gone. As you can see, the Alpha Tauri that I passed before in just now, and now he's in front of me now. So I was quite angry at this point, but there was nothing else I can do and just continue the race now in 9th position. So in the same lap in itself, there's an incident there. I don't know exactly what happened. I think there might have been some contact between the guy in front of me, this Alpha Tauri, and that guy just now in the Alfa Romeo. That's just my suspicion. I don't know if that was the case, but all good. I gained 2 positions, so that was the most important thing I think for my race. Yeah, and obviously it's not your fault then, so that is also the most important thing. So now end of lap 10, going to lap 11. So you can see I'm very much close to this car in front of me. And basically I decided to on my ARS and DRS and just basically pass this Williams there, as you can see. An easy pass at the end of the day. There was a little bit of contact there. It was unfortunate. I think I would say that's not fully my mistake, but I think I should not have aggressively cut him out there. But I think it was still okay there. I think I left him just enough room if there was any contact that was going to be made. So lap 12, yellow flags, and that's because you can see there's a Renault there. I think he had a moment. Again, you can see a lot of this actions going on, a lot of moments happening, because this track you can really spin off your car in almost any corner, especially in sector number 2. So that is what is happening in most of these guys. And here again, as I mentioned, yeah, another car having a moment. Now this time I'm going all the way up to 4th position now, so quite a good rise of positions just because of others' mistake. And of course, just as I mentioned this, obviously I have to do my own mistake as well, as that's tradition, I guess. Here I have a little bit of a moment. I just was a little bit too greedy on the throttle, and I tried to slow down as much as I can, but you saw there just now I banged the barriers a little bit, and that caused a little bit of damage to my front wing. I think it was about 20 to 30% damage of my front wing, and because of this I would have a lot of understeer throughout the whole race, but it was not enough for me to come and change my wing, and that is why I decided to just keep going. Obviously you can see now the 2 cars behind me have caught up to me, and but yeah, I managed to hold on to my DRS or my DRS limit here more than 1 second, so that was I think critical for my side, so that they could not straight away attack me. So end of lap 17, coming out of this corner, here you can see I'm still in 4th position, but I would concede this to the Alpha Tauri, which is coming up behind me. I did not put up too much of a fight. As I mentioned, I've already damaged my front wing a little bit, so I thought it would be really hard to keep him behind me, and that is why I thought, okay, just release him and basically just run my own race. But anyways, I'm still in 5th position, so it's still okay in the grand scale of things. And yeah, let's see how it would go. And yeah, so just like that, from lap 18 to lap 34, fast forwarding, you can see that the guy in front of me that overtook me has already gone to 22 seconds there, and yeah, that was really a wise decision just to not to keep fighting with him, and that's just because of my wing damage. I was not able to fight him, and yeah, it proved to be the correct decision. I managed to also keep the cars behind me by just running my race as much as I can. I think if I were to have gone in the pits to change my wing, I think that would have cost the race. But yeah, you'll never know in this case whether I would have done better or not. But I think at the end of the day, I think 4th position is also quite a good result already. Yeah, also there was another car in front of me that spun or had a moment or whatever that happened, and that's why I inherited 4th position. That is why you saw just now I was in 5th, but now I'm in 4th. But otherwise, from lap 18 up to now, nothing really happened. And yeah, that's just basically Hungaroring. You don't have really a lot of opportunities to overtake due to this really tight circuit per se. And yeah, overall I think this race was really nice. Coming into the final corner now, I would finish in 4th position, and yeah, really nice race, quite consistent, minimized my errors, and yeah, overall a really good race. So here is the results again. So I finished in 4th position as mentioned. Also important to note is that I did not get any penalties. So I had I think 2 warnings, so I was close to the 3rd warnings, but I really just drove quite slowly, or moderately I should say, to avoid getting any types of penalties towards the end of the race as well. So going into a little bit of statistics, so as you saw in the last race as well, so this will be the some new features that I will introduce in my videos. So here basically what it shows is that yeah, my fastest lap was made in lap number 2. That was when my soft was still the freshest, and you can see that I went in pit number 1 in lap 8, and consequently that's why you see that big spike there. That's just basically to show that I lost time because I was in my out lap, and that is not because of any mistake. But obviously the mistake will come in lap 14. As you saw, I banged the wall there and I lost a little bit of time, so that is that another big spike that you see in lap number 14. Otherwise you can see there was not really a lot of big spikes. That means that I was quite consistent, and yeah, so overall good timing over the whole race distance. So the next statistics basically show what was my overall positions over the race, over the given laps. So you can see I started in 8th position and I went to my highest position as 4th. And after I lost that battle with the Alpha Tauri, as I mentioned, I went to 5th. And then you can see in lap number 25, I gained back my 4th position. As I mentioned in the race itself, that there was someone who spun out. So then I would continue my 4th position all the way to the end. So now a new graph that I will show here as well. So just this basically just shows my drivers championship at the moment. So I gained a lot of points. So you can see that I gained 28 points for this race, which is quite high. But unfortunately, the guy who was just behind of me, he gained more points than me, and that's why I dropped down 1 position. That is just basically showing, as I mentioned before in the start of the video, that the gap between 7th and 8th compared to the top 6 is quite big, and that is why I did not make an impression even though I scored quite a good number of points. But obviously anything can change as the winner gets 46 points. So in the 2 more rounds that I have, I just need to do the best that I can, obviously, and maybe hope for some miracles that something happens to the top 6 or top 7, I should say. But otherwise I would be aiming overall, I think, for 7th position in this championship. But even so, I think it's still a good haul of points, and so far it's quite good. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hope you like these new features, statistics and stuff like this that I'm showing towards the end of the video as well. And hope to see you guys in the next video.